Alright guys, so what we're going to go over today is creating a couple of sample lines for our alignments and then creating section views based on those sample lines. So what we first want to do is we want to go to Profile and Section Views and select Sample Lines, and we have to select the alignment that we want to make these sample lines on. So let's choose the North-South first, and it asks us to create a sample line group, so let's call this Sample line North-South. Okay, and keep everything as is. And alright, so what we have now is like a little tracer along our alignment that we can choose to draw sample lines. So let's say I want to draw one here, and it asks for a swath width. As you can see, I'm going to do 30 on the right and 30 on the left. You can see it popped up right there. Let's do another one over here. So 30 and 30 and 30 and 30. Brilliant. And you can hit escape and you'll be done creating your lines. And as you see, when you have them created, the stations pop up as to where they are along our alignments. Alright, so let's say I want to create a couple of section views based off of these sample lines. So I want to go to section views and create multiple views. So we have our north-south alignment already picked out, and we have our sample line for north and south, or sample lines from north and south there, and we need to create a section view name. So let's call this section view north-south. Alright, and go to next. So I just want to point out, this is really similar to how we create profiles and stuff. Remember, we have like station ranges that we can select. What we want to do here is we want to select draft, which means that we're just going to put them into the model space, and we can move them around. With production, you have the option of just creating a separate sheet and putting them in that, but we're not going to do that for this assignment. So we want to keep them in the model space, so when we submit this in our plot, our map plot for this submission, they'll all be there. So hit next. We can choose our offset range, which is automatically done to 30 because that's what we chose for either side. Our elevation ranges can also be set to something that we want in particular, but that's automatic. And hit next here and create section views. And now it wants us to identify a section view origin. So I just select somewhere on the map, as I have done, and these pop up. So you can see it's giving me the station and what our section view looks like along those lines. So you can see 208, 208, 340, 340, and 467, 467. Perfect. So I'm going to select these and put them over here. Alright. You can tell this one's a little bit taller, and that's mostly because, as you see, this section view stays within the 490 to 500 range. So it only needs 6 different markers for the y-axis, whereas this one actually crosses a line, so there's 7 because it needs to show that's crossing line. So that's the only reason why this one appears taller than the others. So now that we have that, let's do the same thing for our east and west alignment. So do sample lines, and it's going to ask me to create a sample line group. So sample line east, west. Hit OK. And I'm going to choose right here because that looks pretty busy. So 30, 30. Do another one over here. 30, 30. One out here. Alright. And let's do the section views. For the east and west, look at that, it already popped up for us. We can choose in between those. We have that. Perfect. Let's call this section view east, west. Next, draft. Keep everything the same. Create section views. And now I fill them down. So you can see 107, 276, 415, 107, 276, 415. So I'm going to move these down here. Try to line them up a little bit just to make it look nicer. All right. So I also want you guys to add in an annotation to tell me which ones are for the north and which one is for the south. So let's call this north, south, alignment, section views. Okay. Alright, got that. Base point selected. Doesn't want to work, I have to zoom in. There we go. Alright, now I can actually read it. Put that down there. And do the same thing for this. So this is the east-west alignment section views. Alright. Select base point. Perfect. And just like that, so you guys can do that and submit, for part one, submit a plotted map view of all of this information in it.